Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something real today. Relationships are not just about how much you give. They're also about what happens when you stop giving. When you stop contacting a man, when you pull your energy back, two powerful things happen. And trust me, it's going to reveal exactly where his heart truly stands. When you stop contacting a man, silence becomes your power. Most people think that silence means weakness, but in truth, silence is one of the loudest languages you can ever speak. When a woman who once gave her heart, her time, and her effort suddenly goes quiet, it shakes a man in ways he didn't expect. He begins to notice the difference between noise and peace, between being wanted and being valued. That silence makes him sit with his thoughts, and it forces him to see everything he took for granted. You see, when you stop calling, texting, or trying to fix things, you give him space to feel the absence of your energy. That's when he realizes that your presence was never just ordinary. It was something rare. A man may not notice your worth when he's surrounded by your attention, but the moment that attention disappears, he feels the void. Silence exposes truth. It shows whether he truly cared or whether he was just comfortable. When you go quiet, you take back your emotional power. You're no longer reacting to him, he's now reacting to you. That reversal changes everything. It makes him think about the times he ignored your messages, the times he said he was too busy, the times he thought you'd never leave. Now, he's the one wondering if he lost something he can never replace. Silence doesn't mean you're done caring. It means you're done trying to prove your worth. It's a boundary, a statement that says, I know my value and I refuse to beg for love. When you stop contacting him, you give him a chance to show you what he's made of. If he truly values you, he'll notice your absence and take action. If he doesn't, he'll stay silent too. And that silence tells you everything you need to know. There's power in not explaining, not chasing, and not forcing. Sometimes the most beautiful transformation happens in the quiet moments when you choose yourself. A woman's silence can rebuild her confidence, restore her peace, and remind her that she doesn't have to chase love to deserve it. So when you stop contacting a man, your silence isn't emptiness, it's strength, wisdom, and self-respect wrapped in stillness. It's not the end of your story, it's the moment you start writing it with your own voice. He'll start thinking and reflecting on what he lost. When a woman goes silent after giving her time, love, and attention, it triggers a deep wave of reflection in a man's mind. He begins to replay every moment, every word, and every missed opportunity. At first, he might not admit it, but that quiet space you create starts echoing with memories of you. The absence of your messages, your laughter, your check-ins, it all becomes louder than your presence ever was. He starts wondering what went wrong, when things began to change, and how he managed to lose something so valuable without even realizing it. That's the power of silence. It forces him to face the truth that your energy was holding everything together. When a man has constant access to your attention, he gets used to it. He stops appreciating it because it feels guaranteed. But the moment you stop contacting him, that illusion shatters. Suddenly, the good morning texts stop coming, his phone doesn't light up with your name, and his world feels a little colder. That's when he starts reflecting. He remembers your kindness, your loyalty, your patience. He starts asking himself why he didn't match that energy. Silence becomes a mirror that makes him confront his mistakes and recognize what he lost. The truth is, reflection only happens in absence. As long as you're available, he doesn't have to think. But when you withdraw your attention, his mind fills the silence with thoughts of you. Every moment you used to fill with love becomes a reminder of what he no longer has. He realizes that your love wasn't ordinary, it was rare, real, and rooted in care. He starts understanding that not every woman will give him what you did, and not everyone will love him the way you did. That awareness hits hard, and it changes how he views you. He may even start questioning his choices, his pride, or his ego. That's when growth begins for him. But it only happens when you step back. Your silence becomes his lesson. So when he starts reflecting on what he lost, don't interrupt his process. Let him feel the weight of your absence. Because sometimes losing access to you is what teaches him your true worth, and that reflection may just be the spark that transforms him forever. Real men step up, immature ones fade away. When a woman decides to stop chasing, stop calling, and stop proving her worth, the truth about a man's intentions becomes crystal clear. A real man will notice that shift instantly. He won't sit back and wait for things to fix themselves. He'll take action. He'll reach out, apologize if needed, and do what it takes to make things right. His pride won't stop him because he values peace over ego and connection over control. A real man understands that love requires effort, and when he feels your distance, he'll step forward to close that gap. He knows that a woman's silence doesn't mean she stopped caring. It means she's protecting her heart. And if she's worth it to him, He'll rise to the occasion to prove it. On the other hand, an immature man will fade away quietly. He'll use your silence as an excuse to walk out instead of a reason to grow. He'll convince himself that you are the problem or that he doesn't need to change. His pride will become his downfall. Instead of reflecting on what he lost, he'll distract himself, pretend not to care, and move on to the next situation, only to realize later that he let go of something rare. That's what happens when a man lacks emotional maturity. He confuses independence with indifference and mistakes silence for disinterest. But the truth is, silence is a test, and only those with a real heart will pass it. When you stop contacting him, you give both types of men the chance to show their true character. You don't need to chase or ask where you stand. Their actions will tell you everything. The real one will make the effort to rebuild the bridge. He'll show consistency, communication, and care because he understands that relationships thrive on effort. The immature one, however, will disappear, and that's your sign that he never planned to stay. It's not about revenge or playing games. It's about observation. When you pull back, the right man will pull closer. He'll value your time, respect your boundaries, and make you feel secure again. But the wrong one will vanish, proving that your silence only scared away the weak. Real men don't run when things get quiet. They listen, they learn, and they step up stronger than before. Your silence teaches respect more than your words ever could. There's a power in quiet that most people underestimate. When you stop explaining, stop arguing, and stop trying to make someone see your worth, you shift the entire dynamic. A man who once ignored your words begins to pay attention to your absence. Silence is not emptiness, it's energy, and that energy teaches lessons words never can. When a woman who once cared deeply suddenly stops speaking, it sends a message stronger than any speech. It tells him that she's no longer seeking validation, she's no longer trying to prove herself, and she's no longer begging to be understood. That silence forces him to reflect, to reconsider, and to realize what he's losing. Words can be dismissed, but silence demands to be felt. It creates space for thought. It leaves unanswered questions echoing in his mind. Why did she stop calling? Did I push her too far? Did I lose her for good? Those questions linger, and with every quiet moment, respect begins to grow. Silence removes emotion from the situation and replaces it with clarity. It's not about manipulation, it's about teaching through distance. When you choose silence instead of confrontation, you show that your peace is worth more than proving a point. That kind of control commands respect. A man may not understand your silence right away, but over time it will speak volumes. He'll begin to realize that you are not ignoring him. You are elevating yourself above the noise. You are choosing dignity over desperation, calm over chaos. Silence becomes your boundary. It tells him you will not argue for your place in his life. He must decide if he wants to earn it. That realization hits harder than any words you could ever say. There's something magnetic about a woman who knows when to stop talking and start observing. Her stillness speaks confidence. It says, I don't need to fight for respect. I deserve it. When you stop responding to disrespect or half-hearted effort, you change the way a man sees you. You teach him that access to you is a privilege, not a right. And the moment he understands that, the dynamic shifts permanently. So when you choose silence, you're not losing your voice, you're amplifying your value. That quiet strength builds respect naturally, without force or demand. It reminds him that real love doesn't chase validation, it commands it through grace, patience, and unshakable self-worth. Stop chasing. Your value increases when you stand still. There is a quiet, unshakable power that comes when a woman decides to stop running after what doesn't serve her. Chasing a man, a relationship, or even an explanation drains your energy and weakens your presence. But when you stop, when you pause and decide to let things flow instead of forcing them, something magical happens. You stop being an option and start being a mystery. The more you chase, the less value you hold in someone's eyes. But when you stand still, when you let them come to you, you project confidence and control. A man can feel that energy even from a distance. He senses that shift, that you no longer need him to feel complete. And that's when your true worth begins to shine. You see, chasing comes from fear, the fear of losing someone, the fear of being alone, the fear that if you don't try harder, they'll forget you. But love built on fear will never bring peace. When you stop chasing, you replace fear with faith. You trust that what's meant for you will recognize your value without you needing to beg for it. That calm confidence becomes your strength. A woman who knows her worth doesn't have to move fast. She stands still and lets the right energy find her. It's not arrogance, it's awareness. It's understanding that your love, time, and attention are precious, and not everyone deserves access to them. When you stop chasing, you allow people to reveal their intentions. The right man will notice your stillness and move toward you. He'll reach out, make effort, and show consistency because he values you. The wrong one will disappear, proving he was only there for convenience. Either way, you win because stillness gives you clarity. It separates those who truly want you from those who just enjoyed the attention you gave. Standing still doesn't mean doing nothing. It means shifting your focus inward. You start pouring that energy you once gave to others back into yourself. You invest in your growth, your peace, and your purpose. That glow of self, love changes everything about how people see you. You walk differently, speak differently, and attract differently. Suddenly, you're not chasing, you're attracting. The same people who once overlooked you begin to notice you again, not because you're louder, but because your silence now has meaning. When you stop chasing, your value naturally increases. You become the calm in the storm, the peace that others crave but can't control. A man respects a woman who knows how to walk away, who doesn't beg for attention but allows effort to earn her love. The moment you stop chasing, you teach the world that you are not desperate for love, you are deserving of it. And in that stillness, you finally find power, freedom, and respect that chasing could never bring. If he doesn't come back, it's not rejection, it's redirection towards someone better. Life has a way of removing what no longer serves you, even when your heart doesn't understand it at first. When a man doesn't return after you've given your best, it's not a sign that you weren't enough. It's proof that he wasn't meant for the version of you that's growing. Rejection feels painful because it attacks the ego. You start questioning yourself. What did I do wrong? Why wasn't I chosen? Why didn't he fight for me? But with time and silence, you begin to see the bigger picture. Sometimes, not getting what you wanted is the greatest blessing you'll ever receive. When someone walks away, they make room for someone who will walk in and stay. When you stop contacting a man and he doesn't reach back, that's your answer. It's not confusion, it's clarity. It's the universe showing you that his part in your story has ended. You don't need to chase closure because silence gives you all the closure you need. Rejection redirects your path towards something stronger, deeper, and more aligned with who you are becoming. It teaches you what love is not so that when real love arrives, you recognize it instantly. You stop confusing attention with affection and chemistry with commitment. You realize that love should never feel like begging or waiting to be chosen. It should feel like peace, security, and mutual effort. It's easy to believe that when someone doesn't come back, it's your loss. But in truth, it's their loss. They walked away from someone capable of loyalty, warmth, and understanding. They lost a woman who was willing to stand beside them, not behind them. And while they might move on quickly, their lesson will come when they realize that genuine connection doesn't come around often. Meanwhile, you'll be learning that your power was never in being chosen. It was in choosing yourself. Every time you refuse to chase after what left, you prove that you trust your journey. You show strength that only self-respect can build. Maybe it hurts today, but pain has purpose. It refines you, molds you, and prepares you for something far greater. When a door closes, it's because something beyond that door wasn't meant to grow with you. Redirection is the universe's way of saying, I have better in store. That better may come as peace, self-love, or a partner who truly values you, but it always comes. Think about it. If someone can leave so easily, do you really want them back? Real love doesn't vanish when things get quiet. It doesn't disappear when effort is required. So if he doesn't come back, let him go with grace. Release the pain and make room for the lessons. The moment you stop chasing what left, life will start bringing what belongs. You'll meet someone who won't make you question your worth or compete for attention. He'll recognize your energy, match your effort, and honor your heart. That's what redirection does. It leads you home to yourself first, and then to the love that mirrors your growth. So if he doesn't return, remember this, you didn't lose anything. You were saved. You were saved from half love, mixed signals, and emotional confusion. You were redirected towards someone who will love you fully, not partially. Every ending is just the beginning of a better chapter. When he doesn't come back, it's not rejection. It's protection and preparation for the love story you truly deserve.